Greetings and welcome, everybody, to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Sitting across from me, who's a man who never flaps the wrong man's jack, sucker. Good old JB.
And sitting to my left, the man who just recently declared himself into the 2018 Royal Rumble, Mr. Fluffy.
Oh,
You and Finn Balor, bro.
that's right. And sitting across from me, what are you doing over there? What are you making
I'm
noise?
buttering you up, hoping you don't eviscerate me like you do every friggin' week on this show.
God.
He enjoys that.
I do enjoy it, but I'm going to be nice this week.
Thanks.
It's a new year.
It's a new year.
There's another show coming.
That's right. Sitting across from me, he is the butter on my popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Irish.
We have got a great show. Back to full strength. The gang's all here.
After like, what, 4 months?
After 10 years. We're all back together again. Very excited. We got a brand new year.
Yeah.
Brand new beer that we're going to talk about later on.
Yeah.
Same old WWE. Sorry, kids.
You know.
But
we
we
all
got
have resolutions.
we got a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about SmackDown, Raw, and I don't know. We may talk about some other things too, and all that when we come right back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Body Slams podcast
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
with your host, Mr. Fluffy,
Hello, ladies.
good old JB,
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
and the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-F-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, E-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, the Stone Cold said so.
All right, Mr. Fluff, why don't you tell us what we're consuming?
We are drinking from Founders Brewery. We are drinking the Founders Backwoods Bastard, which is their ale aged in oak bourbon barrels.
Sweet.
So I'm going to, okay, who wants to volunteer to read the back of the bottle? Because
Oh,
the
I
back
will.
of the bottle is
Can I?
hysterical. No, I want you to because I want to comment as you talk because it's hysterical. I feel like I'm reading a love letter.
It's almost like beer porn.
Oh, it is. That's what I'm saying. It is the porniest thing I've ever read on the back of a beer bottle.
The Backwoods Bastard. Expect lovely, warm smells of single malt scotch with bourbon barrels, smoke, sweet caramel, and roasted malts. A bit of earthy spice and a scintilla of dark fruit. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate.
That is so disturbing.
Read to you by Val Venus, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God. It's so
Hello.
disturbing.
Oh, wait. Oh, that'd be better. Hang on.
Oh, here. Now you had to start that, didn't you? You had to go there.
Hello, ladies. Expect a lovely, warm smells of single malt scotch and bourbon barrels, smoke, sweet caramel.
All right, now you sound macho. Now you're going macho.
Oh yeah!
You can taste the scintilla of my fruit.
Oh, you can taste. No, Macadine says you can taste the sweet scintilla of the fruit.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth, I got the fruit because I'm the head of the fruit. The head of the fruit.
I gotta say, whoever writes a copy on the back of their beers,
Oh, my
kudos
God.
to you, my friend.
Good stuff.
Probably
It's
drunk when
great.
you wrote it, but good
Yeah.
for you.
It's a good beer. I've had this before. This is this year's version. They usually this is a year release for them. So
Yep.
I've had it in the past. This is really good. I enjoy this.
It's the smell is
Oh.
totally intoxicating when you start smelling it before you drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, Just-
That's
And
good.
it'd be good with the steak. Because it's got that it's bourbon.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
it'd be like a bourbon on the rocks.
Yeah.
This would be great with a steak.
Yeah.
Nice medium
Heavy.
rare steak and some potatoes.
Yep.
yeah,
Great. Now I'm gonna make myself hungry.
know, right?
some mac and cheese on the side
Oh my god. So all right. So
and a healthy salad.
all right. So I'm gonna throw out a crazy article I read this week.
Okay.
that I'm going to let, I didn't talk about it. I wanted you guys to get a reaction.
Okay.
So we all know that Vince just sold a crap load of stock again to fund this alpha entertainment that we talked about last week and the crazy things that Vince McMahon might do this year.
Alpha.
Yes.
So one of the ideas is that he said recently that he'd be interested if somebody came with an offer to buy the company.
Oh God, is Disney
So-
buying WWE?
That's the article that somebody wrote that
God.
Well, we talked
Disney
about that.
should buy the WWE. And the idea being that they could incorporate it in the brand and they would be able to do movies, theme park attractions, restaurants, and all this. So my question is how crazy of an idea is that and would it work? I don't think it would work. That's the problem.
It would be even more family friendly than it is now.
Well, that's what they want. Yeah, that's why they would buy it now.
But I just don't. I don't know if that's the way to go with the company. It's already like if you look at where they came from, 15 years ago
Yeah.
to now, the attendance is down, ratings are down. What we look for, and as far as entertainment from the WWE is different. It's not. They don't have the over-the-top characters like the Hulk Hogan's, like they did back then, where the kids could, look up to these people, these larger-than-life characters. They don't really have that as much these days. So it's a different brand. I don't know if that audience is there for Disney to get involved because I don't see it as a money-making machine for them.
I have a better buyer for them.
New Japan Pro Wrestling?
No.
TNA?
Actually, it's Disney's rival, Comcast.
Comcast? Oh yeah, I totally agree with
Because
that.
would be, they're already on USA, so they already have that connection. You could still do the theme park stuff, but they have the Universal. They own the Universal parks. You have that aspect. You already have the movie studio to continue pushing that out.
Mm-hmm.
And it would give Comcast, because Comcast is right now, it's Comcast versus Disney is sort of the fight for dominance. Because Comcast keeps buying stuff. They bought NBC, they bought Universal, they keep buying stuff. They have the cable channels the cable companies that Disney doesn't have, although they keep buying stuff too. So it's like, but it's an interesting thought of if a media conglomerate bought them. So instead of being run like a sports company, they were run like a media company, which we talked about last week would not be the worst thing in the world if they diversified some of their things. But it's an interesting idea. What do you think, Irish?
Oh man, that's crazy. I don't think Disney would be the right buyer for that. It's just not. I mean, I understand 20th Century Fox. I get that. I understand Marvel. I understand Pixar. I understand Lucasfilm. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
The WWE product has been fraught with issues along the way. So I think
It doesn't fit their mold.
the history of the WWE would probably not be something they'd be into. Now, that being said, WWE could fit into their ESPN complex that they've built, could easily fit into that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But ESPN has got some issues as well.
Well, there's talk they may
yeah.
sell ESPN. There's
Yeah.
been
right.
talk about that
So
for a
if
little
they're-
while too.
If they're still wanting to keep some semblance of sports,
Yeah.
then that would be an okay call. I think Comcast, if they were going to sell to someone, I think Comcast makes the most sense. But honestly,
They're
it's-
never gonna sell.
It's not rocket science. The reason that the WWE is struggling is because there's obvious problems with the power.
Yeah.
Vince is hanging on, and as advanced and forward thinking as he is, he's not thinking for this generation and probably the generation previous. So the answer, my friend, is just not necessarily that Vince steps out, but Vince steps out of the day-to-day operations.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
That doesn't solve all the problems, but it would certainly help alleviate several of them.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I just want to throw a crazy story out there.
I think this is like a ploy really to drive stock prices up and to try and draw interest in the company.
I can see that.
I don't think they have any interest in selling it, but it could create a demand, and maybe if he can get someone into maybe a bidding war, obviously would drive the cost up. But I don't see a profit for a company like a Disney or Comcast. I don't see it as a money-making opportunity. So for me, like, why would you buy it and spend $1 billion? Probably what he's going to ask. So I think it says worth like $1.5 billion. Why would you spend $1 billion for a company that's barely, their profits are from the network, I guess, right now.
Yeah, but
TV ratings are down.
20th Century Fox cost $56 billion.
Yeah. and they were
Stop.
hurting.
Stop and think about this for just a second. Lucasfilm cost $4 billion when Disney purchased it.
Yeah.
Since 2015, when the first Star Wars movie came out, Rogue One, and now with Last Jedi, just the income from those movies, not talking about
Has paid for it.
not talking about the marketing and stuff, because there's still money, they're still in the red, but just those 3 movies have garnered over $4 billion.
Yeah.
But I don't see wrestling trending upwards over the next 20 years.
No.
In order for that investment to pay off, I don't see the next big thing coming around. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
So if anything, I think it's on the downward side.
It was a crazy idea. Things you read online that you go, okay,
Actually, to be honest with you, I don't want the McMahons to sell it.
I don't either.
They're always going to be, a part of that company, and I'd hate for them to sell it and lose that part of
The
it.
success is going to come from global partnerships.
Well, I look at it this way:
Exactly.
is look at the companies that. Okay, I'll use WCW and TNA as a perfect example. WCW was successful when Ted Turner was in full control and owned the company. It was after the AOL purchase, and he was pulled away, and other people were put in to manage that company differently.
That
And
didn't
you didn't
really
have to-
like it to begin with.
and didn't really like it and didn't give it the love it needed that it suffered.
Yeah.
TNA was the same way. When TNA was great at the beginning, that's when Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett, and they were running that company, and it was their love. It was when they sold their interest and it went elsewhere for a little while that it suffered. Now it's back because Anthem is doing different things to try to bring it back, but it's taken a while to get that sort of shine back a little bit on it. But it was that, and I agree, with Vince not there, with McMahon's not there, you lose that love.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. And that's why I'm saying that the success comes from global partnerships. Ring of Honor is the case study. The problem that Ring of Honor has is no major TV presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Ring of Honor had even a third of the network presence that WWE has, it would be a juggernaut.
I agree with you.
And it's not just partnerships with AAA and the other Mexico. I'm talking like New Japan,
Yeah.
the big partnerships that they're getting. And the WWE is fostering that with England, Great Britain,
Yep.
a little bit with Mexico, but New Japan is a nut they got to crack.
Yeah.
And they have not historically treated those guys well.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go on to talking about the shows. We're
We
gonna
have
start-
to?
it.
We have to. No, we have to because Raw started out with a very big announcement. We'd been debating it for a while. There
Yep.
have been a lot of rumors online. Angle came out and admitted, yes, he is really a woman, and that this whole time it is going to be a 30-woman Royal Rumble match. So they're getting the same time lot. They're getting the same everything, the same rules.
Over the top and everything.
Over the top and everything, because that was the other question I heard between the ropes. So
Yeah.
they're going over the top. It's going to be 30. We're going to see a lot of, I'm assuming, people come up from NXT. We're going to see a lot of returning
Past.
past divas, quote unquote, that'll come back. They'll call them, so it's going to be interesting because the roster right now is what? I think there's about 20 on the main roster. So you got good 10 spots that you can fill very well with people from NXT and from there.
I mean, if you got 10 spots, let's just stop and think about it for a second. Ember Moon, Nikki Cross,
Yep.
Billy Kay,
Yep.
and Peyton Royce.
Yep.
I didn't have to ask you. And then you've got like 4 or 5 more girls, women, excuse me. You could totally fill those 10 spots.
But even put them to people we can bring back.
I don't think we'll see Ember, but
No,
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, I definitely think.
But you definitely could bring back some people. I could definitely see, hell, if you really wanted to, reach out to Karma and see if she's willing to do it one night.
Wow. She's busy right now.
Yeah,
She's
is
acting.
She's filming, but they may be done with Globe by then.
Right.
Because they were filming last month, so she may be done.
Did you hear who the announced team is going to be for the mixed match?
I saw Beth Phoenix. I didn't see who else.
Michael Cole and everybody's favorite Corey Graves.
Oh, okay. I like that then.
They're spreading Corey
cool.
thin.
Yeah.
They're bringing in Michael Cole. And, nothing against Beth Phoenix. I think it'd be great if she could be used in some capacity. But again, Renee Young gets the snub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but there was a great announcement. I love the fact they're going 30. They're not, which means as far as I know, Royal Rumble is only 3 hours. They haven't announced 4 hours yet. Which means there's going to be
There's plenty of time.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's good though because we're going to get the matches we have beyond that are going to be contained. We're not going to have a couple. There's no room for filler matches in this one. It's
No.
going to be championship, and
God
2
forbid
Royal
a
Rumble
pay-per-view
matches.
has filler matches.
So okay, so the question is, do you start out with
That's
do
a
you-
novel idea.
Do you start with the women's Royal Rumble match and end with the men's, or do you do like,
Yeah, start with the women's.
or my other thought is you start with a match and then have the women's match as sort of like the in between. So you want to
No,
Make history right off the
That's what I
bat.
figured.
Get the crowd
Yeah.
lathered
Bookend
up
it.
from the beginning.
bookend it.
Yeah.
That's what I
bookend
was
it.
thinking too. All right, so that'd be interesting. So then we had, oh God, I'm over Jason Jordan every way. Don't care. Don't crap. Every time he comes on, it's not even a hatred boo. It's just I'm over him.
That's kind of what they're going for.
Yeah, it's
This little prick character, I would say.
I don't know. I don't look at his trunks.
It's
Yeah.
kind of not literally, but
But he picked up a win though. He picked up a win over Cesaro.
he has this
Woohoo.
little slimy Weasley way
Oh, yeah.
about him that it actually works for him because he doesn't really have to talk a lot. Like the segment, I'll jump in around a little bit when he goes backstage with the Shield, and it's
Oh my God, that awkward friggin'
Believe
moment in the back.
that.
2 weeks ago he's feuding with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And now him and Seth are the champion, and he's like, "Yeah, guy, like he's picking up Dean's spot." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he just jumps right in, and they look at each other like, "Really? Is this really just happening?"
Oh, it was awkward. Oh no,
But it was intended to be, so, which
in my
is good.
literally when my notes read awkward moment
Yeah,
with Seth and Roman after Jordan leaves because the look on their face was like,
That's actually pretty good acting.
what
yeah.
the
So
hell?
I think he's kind of finding his role in his character.
Yeah, that's great.
So eventually, he'll go full heel, and it'll work for him. Like his matches have been good.
We want you to be Roman Reigns.
I love how, but
Except be a heel.
I love how Seth, Rollins told Jason Jordan to stop being self-absorbed.
Yeah,
Wah, wah. It's
That's
Bizarro
like,
World.
I'm like,
I know, right?
wait a minute, whoa. Aren't you the quote unquote architect? Aren't you
Well,
like the self-absorbed
he
person?
confessed that he changed his ways. Remember,
I know. All right.
Busted up knee will do that
like
to
he
you.
wasn't enjoying what he saw when he looked in the mirror. So
So then we had a match that I wanted to hate, but actually wasn't bad. Apollo Crews versus Bray Wyatt.
Apollo with a beard.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dana Brooke, looking amazing.
Yeah. but that was
Still not better than Miss Tessmacher.
No, but
She does look.
I like Dana.
Glasses.
I like Dana in that role,
Glasses look good on her.
like for a manager. I like
Yeah.
her in that.
But that
role.
was not a
love her in that
bad
role.
match. I think for both of them was a really
He
interesting.
needed that.
They both
obviously.
needed that.
Yeah. I thought
No,
it was.
Bray doesn't need
I
that.
thought it was a good
He
match.
needs something else. But
and we need to really have a dissertation on the Woken thing.
Oh yeah.
Before we
speaking of over
before we
it,
do that, before we do that,
I was never
the-
over it.
yeah, the match was good. I thought both characters looked strong.
Yeah.
I'm ready for there to be something to this whole Titus Worldwide. Do something
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
Now
Yeah,
they've
I
got
agree.
3 people.
Yeah.
Do something
well, they
with
had
it.
3 people, but Tozawa sort of fell off.
Right,
Yeah.
he's-
he
he-
just
yeah.
he left.
Well, he got hurt.
Yeah.
Do something with this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a great way to get 3 superstars on TV every week, but
Yeah.
do something with it that's interesting.
Meaningful. Yep.
Yeah. Have some point to it.
Although Dana
Maybe
did,
they're going that way.
Dana did have a good spot though when she fell off the apron onto Titus. That was a nice spot. Like
Yeah.
that was a way to use them.
Right.
That was good. Especially the way Bray was kind of looking at her. He's freaking her out. He's still got great eyes though. His
Whoa,
like,
okay.
Speaking of not looking,
you know what I mean though. I mean he's just got that look.
My eyes are up
he
here.
plays crazy well.
And then the Woken's part happened, and it was
Jesus, God help me.
See, they're going to take it, and it's just they're going to multiply it by 1,000, and it's just too much.
But
It's
I've heard
too
a rumor
much.
why this is not working though. There's a rumor of why it may not be working.
Well, you tell me the rumor, I'll tell you my thoughts.
It's because one of the main writers of this segment, it was always Matt, but he had a partner,
Right?
and that partner's not with him because that partner's still with TNA, and that was Jeremy Borash. That's the rumor that's coming out, that Borash really was the one that worked with Matt and developed the character, and they would sit down and write all this stuff out, and they were bouncing ideas off each other, and now it's all Matt, and he doesn't have that sounding board, and that's why it may be falling flat. And not that they both came up with great ideas. Not that Jeremy was the benefit of it, but they needed that back and forth.
Right.
And that's the rumor, because supposedly they wanted Jeremy to come with them to WWE, and he wouldn't leave.
That would be an interesting.
And they wanted him to come.
He's too entrenched in TNA.
They wanted him to come. Like they tried to get WWE to hire him and him to come over, and he wouldn't leave.
Here's where I'm at with the whole Woken thing. I have two trains of thought. First one is
Woo woo.
this is the WWE. It feels like this. Oh, so you guys want the whole broken Matt Hardy thing? Okay, well, we're going to give it to you, and you're going to hate it, and you're going to hate every minute of it. That's the first thing I thought. Second thing I thought was what made the whole Woken or the whole broken Matt Hardy thing interesting was that it wasn't within the confines of the ring, the arena. It all took place elsewhere.
Yeah, it took place on the compound.
There were so many other aspects. Where's Vanguard One? Where's the other characters that should be a part of this? It's just
they don't own. Because the thing is they don't actually own the Broken Universe. They found a way around it with the Woken, and I don't think they'll do that stuff because they don't want to get sued for copyright.
So you can't half-ass gimmicks like this.
Exactly.
I agree with you. But I'm saying is that's the problem. Is if they own the Broken, if they actually own the Broken gimmick, they could still call it Woken. But I think they would be using those things, the King Maxwell and all that stuff. They're too afraid to go there and get sued.
The best analogy is the what was the last Wolverine movie that had Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool?
Oh yeah,
versus the movie Deadpool. The Wolverine movie had
Origins.
The origin thing was, Ryan Reynolds playing a version of Deadpool that
It
may
was
or may not
horrible.
have been decent. Versus Deadpool being Deadpool in the movie. That's why the movie was so great.
Yeah.
This is the exact same analogy.
Yeah.
You've got Matt Hardy doing a version of something that was really super popular. It's just got no authenticity to it, and it's falling flat. It's falling flat because
And the video effects were horrible. That whole multiplying thing, that was so bad.
Stupid. It's dumb, and I don't understand because WWE needs to realize that the audience is a lot more sophisticated than they're giving us credit for.
Yep.
I never bought into it. I mean, you guys loved it because I haven't experienced the full version of the gimmick.
When it was working, it worked
But
great.
This is like I can't even listen to it. Like it's just I'm like, what is this? Yeah, I'm like, I hear that and I'm like, nope. Fast forward. But like, yeah, it's weird. I don't.
Like my DVR doesn't get used nearly as much as when Raw's on it. I swear to God.
Like an otter on a blender. All right.
Terrible.
So then we had an awkward moment backstage.
Just one?
For Nia. Well, no, where Nia was leaving to go be with Enzo, who apparently legitimately had the flu. That was not actually BS.
Yeah.
He was in the hospital.
Yep.
But that she was running to his side, that Alexa needed her help because Alexa was then taking on Asuka next.
Yes.
In a match that was, number one, I'm disappointed in the crowd. The crowd was very dead for that match.
Well, they were in Miami, right?
Yes, they were in Miami.
Okay.
But I liked the match. They felt each other out.
Cocaine break.
I love Alexa playing the chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
She is a great chicken shit heel. The old
took some serious bumps from Asuka.
She did. But the whole her running out of the ring or her going, no, we need to stop. It was great the way she played it. Like,
She stopped Kurt to start the show.
yeah.
It's like, wait, I guess it's an emergency. This is like,
Yeah.
you need to call this off.
It was awesome.
It was good.
You know,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's one of those few moments where the champion loses in a non-title match and still comes out looking good. I mean, she was going to lose to Asuka, but she did it enough in the match where you're like, all right.
Right. Do you feel that the E's painted themselves into a little bit of a corner because the crowd didn't pop so much? Mm-hmm. So when this actually becomes like the legit match, people are going to be like, we've seen this on Raw and it wasn't very good.
That's part of their problem.
That's part of the problem.
They're giving these matches away on TV for free,
Right.
and with little or no buildup.
They should have never. These two should have never met until WrestleMania when Asuka wins the Royal Rumble, because that's what we're assuming is Asuka's going to win the Royal Rumble.
That's what I'd say. They were going a different direction.
But I agree. Or even if she's not going to, whoever's going to do these two should not have been in the ring together 1-on-1
Until their championship
Until
match.
the championship match.
Yeah.
They can be in tags. They can be in 6-pack. They can be whatever. They can even be in a 3 or 4-way where there's other girls in there where maybe it's like a multiple match. But 1-on-1 until, that it should have never happened. Because now Asuka's illegitimate. Well, I just beat your champion, so why don't I get a title match tomorrow?
Exactly.
Right.
You know why?
Nobody ready for
Yeah.
Asuka.
Then we had the second awkward moment backstage. Actually, third or fourth.
Just one.
Oh no, where Joe said the line, "Dean's a stay-at-home
The
husband."
hilarious. That was the best night.
Oh my
That was the
God.
best line of the night.
Yep.
Oh, I was cracking up when he said that.
Oh,
Even Renee was like, "Oh, you bastard!"
you know,
She needs to break at one of these
she needs to
times.
slap him.
She needs to break.
Yeah.
Like next week's Raw, she needs to
Well,
like
no,
slap
you
him.
do that right before you get ready to come back.
Yeah, I
And
guess
then
you're right.
have him come back and avenge her. You know what I mean? Like,
I've listened to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Week
run my wife
after
down
week,
for.
run my husband down, slap.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, you've got a problem, little lady.
Yeah.
Because he's not here to defend you.
Exactly. That's how you
and
bring him
then
back.
the camera swings over, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I would rethink that if I were
Yeah.
you."
but I think Joe had one of the lines of the week. And when he was talking about Roman, he goes, "It may be his yard, but he lives in my world."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a great turn on somebody's gimmick of, "Oh, it's my yard." That's fine. You can have your yard, but everything else is mine.
And
Like,
right then, Bray Wyatt popped up and goes, "Yes, and I'm the eater of worlds."
Yeah. I thought that was a great use of somebody else's moment to
Taste it.
Speaking of Bray, I got a question about him.
Yes,
I had
go
a
ahead.
theory, actually.
Uh-oh, we're going
Do you
backwards.
think he's being punished for his relationship with a certain someone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
I think he's
just
for JoJo. Yeah, he's
for
totally
whatever
been-
reason. I just now thought about that, but like after he got moved over to Raw, and
Yeah.
he's literally done nothing.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was being punished for that, and
Because
it totally
he's-
makes sense because he's just fallen off. The
And
face.
yeah, exactly. It's not like his performance hasn't
No.
fallen off. He's still good.
Yeah.
He still captivates. I mean, proof in the fact of
Still Fireflies.
still far exactly. If he came out and there wasn't all the
Yeah.
cameras on, then I would go, okay, there's an issue. The place lights up. I mean, just lights up, and people love it when he comes out. He still gets cheered. You know, he still gets his pop, but they're just, you know,
The
trying to humble him, I guess.
I guess here's the thing, like the linebacker for Georgia talking to
Oh yeah,
be humble.
humble yourself.
Exactly.
Humble yourself. Talking to the quarterback from Oklahoma. That has nothing to do with wrestling. I just thought it was funny. The problem that the E has now is there's too many, as another segment, which was weird backstage, the whole alpha monster
Oh yeah, that was
that did not catch on, which will
Yeah.
probably be the next thing that Michael Cole drives on our throat.
an alpha monster.
Yeah.
No, I am the only alpha monster. So now the problem is you've got Kane, you've got Braun Strowman, you've got the Beast, you've got all these monsters. There's no place for Bray Wyatt in that.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that he's
That's
got
why
up
he should
his
be on
sleeve.
SmackDown.
Well, even when he's on SmackDown, what's he got over there? I mean, it's just not working for him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like I
He
said, that's the
need-
one person that needs a stable.
He needs a stable. That's the thing. It will work for him.
Right.
If he had a group, he'd be fine.
'Cause if that character needs followers.
yeah.
They
He's
need
even-
a Sister Abigail, by the way.
Yeah.
Throw that
Well,
out
that
there.
too.
But even if he doesn't, like you're talking about
Something.
Okay, even if he doesn't have a good personal single feud, if you give him, okay, let's say Bludgeon Brothers, you gave him the Bludgeon Brothers as it should have been. He just goes out with them. You still get the pop. You still get the motion. You know, look what Xavier did when he first came out with New Day.
Right.
You know, he's now in the ring and having good matches, but it took that time. But I mean, Bray can have a good match tomorrow, but he needs that motion. He is dependent on being that head.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't come out and say I'm a god and then have
Right.
nobody following
Have no one
you.
follow. Yeah, yeah.
So outside of Sanity, I'm taking Sanity off the table. Who do you bring up from NXT, or who do you bring in from independent scene to be his new stable, or do you who would be a good stable and not the Bludgeon Brothers because they've
You could do War Machine. You could do Authors of Pain, maybe. Or you could bring in War Machine, the new guys that just signed
from ROH.
Yeah, ROH. You could do those two. But you need the thing is also is it can't be somebody clean. It's got to be that sort of backwoodsy, grungy.
Smells like his sister.
Yeah, it's got to
I
be.
would have said Elias before he started to catch on by himself. But
Yeah.
they could have remade him if they wanted to.
you
but-
know, you can't give him like Brizango. It's not going to
No,
work.
clearly,
You can't
yeah.
give him, anybody who's clean and
maybe even
sweet.
a Jeff Hardy when he comes back.
Could do a Jeff Hardy.
Remake him.
The only that would work is if again, they're using it now, but you could use that where if Jeff's going to be back soon,
He could totally go to a darker character.
you could turn him into a darker character. And when Bray goes, I'm done fighting you, but I've got a warrior to take you on. He
That would be
brings
the
out-
perfect
And you
segue.
bring out, you know, but you don't announce it. Like it's that whole
Right.
build up and build up and
That
build
would
up
be
and
the
build
perfect-
up. And the pay-per-view, Bray comes out and goes, all right, are you ready to meet my warrior?
Jeff, he won't make it on nostalgia
Yeah.
as Jeff Hardy.
Right.
So that would be the perfect opportunity to remake him.
That'd be a great call up for Aleister Black too.
And Aleister Black
Oh,
would be,
yeah,
yeah.
he would definitely.
Have Jeff and Aleister Black
Yeah,
be his
that would
lackeys.
definitely.
Yeah, that'd be good. That would totally work.
Be a nice,
Although, yeah, that would be good. Yeah. So, all right. So then we had
we should
Roman
apply
Reigns.
for jobs, by the way.
I know. Roman Reigns taking on Samoa Joe for the Intercontinental title.
Dun, dun,
If Roman was disqualified, he'd lose the belt. We knew that wasn't going to happen, so it didn't really matter. That was
Soundtrack by the Irish Old Liberty.
that was brutal. That was a good match. Why was it not the main event? What the hell? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That was just hard hitting, punch you in the face wrestling.
That's when
Cyberknocker.
Roman's at his best, though.
But even Joe, like that's Joe's.
Well, I mean,
the thing.
obviously Joe is.
But why was that not the main event? Why was that not how you end your show? I don't understand why they do these things. No, it's a title match.
Hang on one second.
Go ahead.
Let's do a little flashback to this time last year. What were we bitching about all the time? Last segment of the night was always, say it with me now, Roman Reigns. And now you want Roman Reigns.
No, I don't necessarily want Roman. Okay, I'll just say it has nothing to
a
do with being
match
Roman
like
Reigns.
that
I want a
Right.
match like that
should
with a
be the
title.
closer.
You are correct.
When your Universal Champion is person that's on the show every week and does not defend it, and your Intercontinental has become your pseudo belt we see every week, if it's defended, it should either open the show or end the show,
right.
not in the damn middle.
Correct. I
Those
completely
should,
agree.
You either announce that next week the show's going to open with that title defense, or during
Unless
the show
you just have
announce that. It's
something
it's-
so spectacular planned for the end.
And we'll get to that, and they didn't.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see that.
You know, because then after that, because honestly, the rest of the show after that went off the rails completely because you had the Paul Heyman segment in the back, him talking about a conspiracy theory against Brock, and that was just weird.
Yeah.
You then had the Gold Dust with the 205 guys segment that was just pointless.
Weird.
Yeah, you think.
The only entertainment we had.
Hang on. That shot right before Goldust did that thing off the top rope.
That thought he was gonna kill somebody?
The camera angle, right? And he had like the heart shape right at his butt. I'm like, that is horrible camera angle, Steve. Can you move?
Exactly.
We had Elias do a concert with the Miz Taraj and announce,
horrible.
and then we announced the Miz is coming back next week.
Okay.
The only highlight of this entire
Films a
ending,
movie in 2 weeks. Oh, he was.
he was on a month. It's been a month,
Oh.
and they filmed
WWE
fast.
does.
They filmed fast.
Well, Becky Lynch came back.
Yeah,
She
Becky
was in
Lynch
the
came back,
movie
yeah.
too.
Was okay. This is the question. So, is the Club and Finn permanent? Is this new?
No,
Okay, they had a great entrance. Them in the ring together, doing the two sweet, and everything.
just enough to piss you off.
That was
That's right.
awesome.
WWE.
Yeah.
Here, fans.
You
we'll
wanted
give
your club
exactly what-
reunion? Here you
There
go.
Oh
Now
my
shut
god,
up.
it was
Yep.
so great. It was so awesome. They looked good together. They
Finn
had
actually
fun
looked
together.
happy
Oh my God.
Finn
I
looked
was so
first-
happy.
for the first time in a year.
The club looked happy.
Oh, that too.
The three of them
For
looked. They like this made sense
For the first time in a year,
Yeah.
Finn
Yeah.
Balor actually had a smile on his face
Oh.
going
So-
to his match.
So the E's going to be like, nope.
No,
Nope.
yeah.
Well, and let me ask you this question. I've been sitting on this ever since that moment happened. Does this now mean that Finn Balor has sunk so low that they're pairing him now with the two other lackeys in the club because they can't get a win to save their
Yep.
life? Or are they actually going to use these three gentlemen in the way they should have been used from day one?
Let's
That's the
hope
question.
We'll hope that they will go with the latter, but until I see it, I don't believe it.
I don't either. There was a tweet put out yesterday or the day before from somebody in the WWE account and actually hashtag Bullet Club.
Yeah, that was the UK account, and then it got
Yes.
cleaned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Young Bucks sent a cease and desist to
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
I thought that was apropos.
Now, the one thing that came out is we've seen it before is the Miz Taraj and Elias is actually kind of fun together to the point where I would like to see an angle really quickly when the Miz comes back where the Miz Taraj is torn and we have maybe a face Elias versus a heel Miz for the Miztourage.
The Miztourage on a pole match.
Yeah, but I'm like, I kind of like Elias with a little,
I can see that going the other way.
or I could see it going to flip the other way too. But I'm saying, but either way, I wouldn't mind seeing the Miz's first angle when he comes back. Of like, you could build it very slowly of them still going out with Elias, and the Miz going, "No, I'm back. Why are you going out there? Why
I'm paying you two
I'm
idiots.
paying you."
Yeah.
And them going, but he sings with us and we have fun with him.
Yeah.
And they're, I could totally, and Elias and the Miz against each other wouldn't be
Would be a bad match.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad match at all. So maybe if they book it, I want our royalties.
They need to shake things up a little
There's
bit.
And
no
then
way
we-
they're going to book that match.
No.
And then we had
Makes too much sense.
Brock Lesnar come out. And very rarely do I say Paul Heyman was boring, but the whole, they're stacking the deck and and then Kane comes
Flubbed his
out.
line too, which is
Yeah.
weird.
It's the same thing though. It's like
Horrible.
it's
The show ended very lackluster. After that Roman Reigns Joe match, it was just downhill.
I don't need
in a
Paul Heyman
hurry.
to sell a Kane match.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like it's Lesnar versus he's already fought Strowman, so there's nothing groundbreaking with him being involved, and it's Kane. You know what I mean? Like who in the right mind is actually thinking he's going to win?
Nope.
I don't need Paul Heyman to come and sell that. You know, 2 weeks before.
I agree.
It
I agree.
doesn't make sense.
All right. Before we move on to SmackDown Live, I once again want to thank Founders for your Backwoods Bastard.
You backwoods bastard.
I'm feeling really good right
that
now.
bastard bit me. That 11.8%.
Yeah, it's 11.8%.
Oh my God, that's what this is?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
sir.
I was toasty last week. God,
Oh,
can't imagine what it's going to be like going home tonight.
It's a good one. All right. So
She's
on
strong.
to
She's strong.
SmackDown Live. So we start out with AJ Styles in the ring.
AJ Styles.
And then, of course, Shane comes out and Daniel comes out. I did like the fact that Shane apologized for AJ's loss last week because it was totally his fault. Completely. My other favorite part of the segment was after Daniel announced that, after Shane announced that he'll be at ringside, then Daniel announced that KO will be at ringside, then Daniel announced that he'll be at ringside. The look on AJ's face of just,
What the hell's going on
what
here?
the hell is going on around here?
Am I in TNA?
Yeah,
Is
it
this,
was-
is this a rib?
It was,
He came out from behind the curtain.
yeah. The look on his face was just like, what the hell is going on around here?
Right.
I love that segment. That was one of my favorite segments of the week. Was that whole just and watching AJ. It wasn't necessarily what they said. It was watching AJ's face the whole time.
The one
going,
thing about that SmackDown is there is genuine intrigue as to which way that's going between
Oh,
Shane
yeah.
and Daniel.
oh, we don't know.
I think there's the curveball coming, but they're kind of like teasing the Daniel turn. But it could go either way, and that's the one thing that they have going for them right now is that actually people, some people are interested in how that's going to end.
Yeah, because we
up.
don't know where it's going.
Yeah,
All right, then we had the Usos
Oos.
defending their tag team titles against Benjamin and Gable. The first match, or the first part of the match, was fun, fast, and really good. And we had new champs for a moment. Apparently, we had a case of bad twin magic.
Twin
Yeah.
magic.
I'm like, what the hell?
so now instant replays spilled over to the
apparently.
WWE.
Now, this is the thing. Okay,
So
this
now
is,
we can replay matches and make decisions on the fly now,
but
right?
this is where I get confused. You have
Don't get confused.
no. You have the commissioner and the general manager backstage, but an unknown referee comes out to tell the other referee you made a mistake and restart the match.
Yeah.
Shouldn't Daniel or Shane have come out to make that decision?
Yep.
Well, this is what
As
we
in
don't want,
charge?
though. We don't want them to have 40 different cameos on screen. So we.
But that was a moment that made sense.
Oh, it did, but
And then we restart the match and the Usos win.
Of course.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to see that Benjamin's getting his legs back under him.
He looked really good. This is the best he's looked. He looked really
They're
good.
finally looking like the team that I thought they could be when they
Right.
put them together.
Yeah, it takes time.
And I
Yeah.
love my favorite part of that match was after Benjamin and Gable lost the actual match
Yeah.
of Gable outside throwing a hissy fit.
Yeah.
Him just pounding the mat, going, "We won those belts," and just screaming.
There's your.
I smell
Official
a
heel.
heel turn.
Yeah.
Well, they've already been
They've already been
going
healing
that
it,
way. Yeah, now it's going to be
But that was
official.
great. So Then
I don't know if I've ever. I'm sorry. I don't know if I've ever seen Gable as a heel.
He can play.
No,
They were
he
never
wasn't.
heels in NXT.
No, they were American Alpha was straight
He
face.
looks like he
could do it.
Embracing that side
He's
already.
embracing his dark
There
side.
you go.
So
He's kind of the whiny heel though. I
It's
can
always
see
Luke
it.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's Anakin
Skywalker,
Skywalker. It's Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I think it's right. So then we had the Bludgeon Brothers beat up both Brinzango and the Ascension, and no one cared.
If a tree falls in the woods and nobody is there to hear
I
it.
thought the crowd was dead during Alexa and Asuka. I think the entire crowd left the arena and went to take a piss during this.
I'm
match.
pretty sure that just got all 6 of them future endeavors.
Well, here's the
Nobody cared.
Well,
one
it
bit.
was
here's
dead.
the thing. Here's the
Dead,
thing.
dead,
They're a
dead.
product. They're a product of their own booking.
No, clearly.
Because they've taken Breezango off of the live show and put him on YouTube. So there's no playing even in the crowd. People don't care about it.
Yeah.
So they're not seeing Breezango. They're not seeing the Ascension. Both tag teams have been treated like crap ever
Yep.
since they got up.
Yep.
And then
I agree with
you
that.
have the Bludgeon Brothers because they're pushing pretty hard. And I could care less about those two dudes. It's the same gimmick with different clothes.
We've only seen
Just
we've
put
only
them back with
seen
the
them
Wyatt family
for 5
Make 'em-
years.
Yeah, making the Wyatt family, they're fine.
Right. Shave those bastards and give them a different look. Put them in lucha masks. I don't care.
They go.
So then we had
I'll be in ROH next week.
probably. I liked the segment backstage with New Day and Rusev and English and the pancakes and all the whole, 2018, the candle and
I feel like I woke up from a coma and Rusev was over.
Rusev's you do. When Rusev goes,
Like,
you
when
can
that-
have your fluffy pancakes. I'm going.
Like when did, what is causing this metamorphosis for him now decided getting?
You know what it
cheers?
is? I think this is what it
So the
is.
Total Divas.
No, I think it's partly that. And even during the English Woods, what was next for the U.S. title that Woods eventually won, we had Rusev singing. And I think the big thing that changed is, I don't know if it's backstage or maybe he made the decision. They really sort of gave up on the Bulgarian brute. I am always angry.
Because
you
his
know,
character needs death.
grrr,
Right.
angry. And he's just become goofy.
But like even Lana says, like I've seen interviews that she's done that he's actually funny.
Right.
Like outside of, so I think I think that's maybe why they put him on
Yeah.
Total Divas to kind of show that other
it's great.
side to him, so
Right.
like people can see who he really is, and they seem to embrace it.
And I love him in English.
But he looks like he is pretty funny dude. You know what I mean? So
Well,
maybe
I
they
mean-
can tap into that.
Yeah, they've done that with him. And honestly, look what they did. I'm sorry, we're going backwards.
That's okay.
But think about the last 5 minutes of Braun Strowman on Raw, not counting the interview.
Yeah.
The match,
Yeah.
he's pile driving a guy, and then he pile drives the other guy. And then the crowd's like, one more time.
Yeah.
One more. So he pile drives them both again.
We were
Yeah.
beating Slater and Rhino up. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the crowd's going crazy, and he pulls his shirt, loops down
Yeah.
on his shirt. Crowd goes crazy, and he does it again. But he's over,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
and he was meant to be a monster. I was like, he's not a monster.
No.
He's just people like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
They should let him be funnier.
Well,
They
he's
should-
a monster by size.
right.
Yeah.
They should let him have more personality, and he would be able to get over to the level of a Big Show.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree
Yeah.
with you.
Oh,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
Yeah.
So anyway,
But I said this.
I think you'll see that. It just
this
takes-
Rusev and English team. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on it.
No, no,
chickens.
But I'm saying, we've talked before. When they put Rusev and English together, I was like, this is dumb.
yeah.
I'm sold. Like, I want to see the
Wow.
belts on them. I want to see them run
because
for a
they're
while.
so polar opposites.
They're
Right.
so, it's a
Wow.
The fact that they're
miracle
even-
to watch
How
them.
they develop the chemistry that quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anything like that before.
Well, desperate times.
With the exception of
Yeah.
Cesaro and Sheamus. maybe.
Desperate
Yeah,
times.
exactly. And
man.
that's why I look at it.
Yeah.
It's the bar. It's the SmackDown version of the
bar.
bar.
It's the bar.
Because you took two guys that were floundering and put them together
Well, not only that, I mean, like
and they found something.
Rusev and Aiden English are told, like I said, they're polar opposites. Cesaro and Sheamus kind of were the same, similar
Yeah.
in style. So I could see the pairing there. But these guys, like, there's no way. But
And whoever came up with Rusev Day, whether it was a writer or them, deserves
Genius.
a bonus and a half.
genius.
Because Aiden English doing nothing but Rusev Day. And Rusev walking in the room is going, do you know what day is today? It's Rusev Day.
And squirrel. At the end of all this, when they turn on each other, that's going to be fun to watch because
yeah.
it's going to be, you celebrate Rusev Day. Screw you. I don't want to celebrate Rusev Day. What
Oh,
about me? What about Aiden English Day?
Oh my God. It was oof.
As he gets kicked in the throat.
Yeah. So then next
Folded up like a pretzel.
Sorry, Aiden.
so then we had Natty in the back trying to be intimidating.
Oh, God.
Going, Riot Squad, you may be here now, but we were first. And looks at the rest of the girls, and they're all like, yeah, we're gonna kick your ass eventually.
Yeah.
The welcoming committee.
He's the welcoming committee.
Gotta be the worst name ever.
That
for a
lasted
stable.
what, 3 weeks, and they keep
Yeah.
trying to bring it back, and yeah.
I can't even with Natalie Neidhart right now. I just can't.
But this is where
I'm so over her.
this is where I start getting confused again. This is where I wonder where we're going.
Great
But you're
Instagram.
applying- are
Great
you applying-
Instagram.
I know.
follow.
Yeah, just let her do that for a living.
My
So
goodness.
so we have Charlotte come out, who's the champion.
See?
The last person that should be out having to defend anything, like any way have to go, you guys don't belong here. People should be going after her. She
Yeah.
didn't go after them. She brings out Naomi and brings back Becky, and then they beat down the Riot Squad. I'm going, no, you're the champion. You don't need to do that. You just stand there and go, look, I got
I'm the
this.
champion.
Look, I got this. This is my
Well,
belt. I'll go
It's
away.
you're not going to take over my show type of deal. So we're gonna protect. We're going to protect what I built. Like AJ
Look
Styles.
at what I did.
Yeah.
But I also have a problem with her coming out without the belt.
Well, she's fighting.
No, that's fine because they've done that before where she should at least come out with the belt on and then before she runs down the ring,
take it off.
Take it off. I'm sorry. If you've got the belt, you come out with the belt at all times until you're ready to kick somebody's butt. You don't
Well,
walk
that's very
out.
Kevin Nash of you. Very old school. Man.
I'm sorry. That's what I
How
am.
dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you put Kevin Nash in the same sentence with Charlotte Flair?
That's right. Then we had our main event of the evening. We had Sami Zayn taking on AJ Styles with Shane, Daniel Bryan, and KO all at ringside.
Wow. Overkill.
And then we had what is my favorite moment of the entire week of both shows.
Really?
No, this was it. When the referee got thrown out of the ring and we had KO stopping him and yelling the line, "Is your leg okay? Is your leg okay?" That made, I had to rewind it back and watch it again because that made me laugh so hard. I don't know why, but just KO going, "Is your leg okay? Is your leg okay?" As he's trying to stop him from counting the pin on Sammy. I thought
Right.
that was funny as hell.
It's smart. It's just smart. It just goes to show the level of amazing that Sami Zayn and Kevin
my
Owens, mainly
God.
Kevin Owens, is. I mean, he's smart beyond smart.
God
He's
damn it. It was
almost Chris Jericho smart.
funny. Yeah.
Almost.
At
He's-
least Sammy's finally getting his chance to be in the limelight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
getting a little push.
for someone
Yeah.
that carried NXT for the time period that he did, it's good to finally see him
And helped make
not be lost in the
Shinsuke?
shuffle
Oh, I just made
and
it.
get his opportunity.
I had an epiphany moment.
But I'm kind of bummed he's not in the U.S. tournament. title
Me
tournament.
too.
Well,
That would have made more sense to me.
well,
Than
that's
some of the other people that.
Well,
are in
he
it.
won the match, and I don't understand. Okay, so at the Royal Rumble, we're going to have a handicap match where Sammy and KO are going to take on AJ. So
whoever pins him wins. the
I'm
title.
assuming that's where we're going to go. Whoever pins him wins the title.
Yeah.
If they beat AJ,
Yep.
but I do assume they're not going to beat AJ.
Oh,
WWE.
guess we'll talk about that in 2 weeks.
Or are we already setting up KO versus Sammy? Because if Sammy wins, KO's going to lose his goddamn mind and flip out.
Only if KO invites Sammy to a festival of friendship. Then he knows he's pretty much screwed.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think SmackDown was a better show this week. In my opinion. I think it had more interest.
I think it's a wash to me.
Well, this is why. This is the only
it's
why.
pretty-
The only reason why is because we had a full storyline that ran the entire show between the whole
Fair
scene
enough.
Well,
that
yeah.
made interest.
There is no storyline on Raw
That
right
made
now.
you want to watch from the opening segment
Right.
till the end.
Correct. That makes sense. I see what you're saying.
That's why I think it was a better show, because you had that interest the whole time of going,
You
okay,
wanted to see what happened at the end.
what's going to happen at the end? Because you have these three idiots out in this match that don't belong to be out there. So
Right.
what's going to happen?
Right.
So, and it wasn't, and I like the fact they didn't overkill it where every other segment was them talking about this moment.
Yeah, you don't have to keep teasing us with it. You're going to show replays.
Exactly. They set it up and then you sat on it. So as a fan, I'm going, what's going to happen?
Right.
You know, during the boring segments, you're going, I can't wait till the main event.
Well,
so
If you're telling any storyteller, preacher, storyteller, author, blogger, you're always throwing out hooks through the entire time you're writing, speaking, or whatever. You're throwing out hooks. And the last third of whatever you're doing, writing, speaking, whatever, is when you start pulling those hooks and you start revealing.
and they did it.
And that's how they seem to put that show together. So I guess you kind of won me over.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think SmackDown was a better show. And we've said that before. They do a better job of setting something up, not beating it down, and then giving you the payoff at the end.
Right. I think part of that is the writing team is headed by one of the former NXT people.
Yeah, so
I had a really interesting thought just a couple seconds ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's look at the people who carried NXT. You know, stop and think about it. Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura,
Joe,
Kevin Owens.
Yep.
And Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay,
For single wise,
yeah. So just stop and think about it. All of those gentlemen carried NXT for an extended amount of time. Oh, even
Neville.
Yeah, Neville.
You're talking about champion. You're talking about champion.
Yeah, Neville. Hell, let's go back even further. Neville.
Tyler Breeze had his run. He didn't have a championship run, but he had he was main.
Seth Rollins.
But he was Seth. Okay,
he was the first.
Seth was the first one.
Yeah, but I said that, and I'm not picking on Seth, but Seth was in NXT before it became what it became now.
Yeah,
he was sort of the precursor.
So the modern age NXT will say, you know, look at where those guys are now compared to they pretty much held that part of WWE on their shoulders. And I think it's fascinating to see they're just lost in the mix.
Yeah.
Almost all of them, outside of maybe Joe and maybe Kevin Owens.
KO is not lost in the mix. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
Everything they're doing with him is calculated.
Finn's not.
No, I agree.
Cesaro's kind of not.
That's the Vince showing who's got the power.
Right.
He's crapping on Triple H.
I'm not dead yet. I'm still running the show.
Yeah, right.
And
I agree.
Until I'm gone, it's going to be done my way.
I agree.
Right. Well, that and also their propensity to write at the last minute.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that came out of the Jimmy Jacobs interview was the fact that no matter what you've written or what you've planned out, it can get scrubbed at the last minute.
Yeah.
And then you have to pick up the pieces from the previous week.
Exactly.
That's a horrible way to do a company. Yeah. So just a thought. It's just one of those things that popped in my head. I was like, wow, you know, all these great champions who held that NXT belt for so long and carried that brand really are kind of struggling. Even freaking Bobby Roode.
Oh, Bobby Roode's totally struggling. It's a total. We didn't even talk about him this week because it wasn't even on the show. It's a total loss.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Good
call. Way to end on a high note.
Well, actually, okay. Let's talk about before we move on to our normal stuff. Monday show, big show Monday.
Big Show's on.
Nope. We're gonna have our second annual Brewski Award.
Brewskis.
And I have a cold 12-pack of Miller High Life, the champagne of beer. No,
shoot me in the head.
God.
Seriously, people. I walked into his house, and on his counter was a 12-pack of Miller High Life, and I'm like,
joke.
The first thing out of my mouth was,
please tell me we're not drinking this.
No, the first thing out of my mouth was, you're fired. you're done. We're not drinking that swill.
But that's Monday's show. We're gonna have some fun on Monday.
Heck yeah, we are.
We got some good categories. We're gonna have a good time. When you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You like the way WWE is booking everybody.
Make sure you head over to VintagePressing.com. VintagePressing.com, where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more.
Make sure you visit us over at beersandbodyslams.com. Check out our show archives. You can also listen to our shows there, and you can find out some more about our great sponsors. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams Podcast. And please go to YouTube. Search for Beers and Body Slams Podcast and subscribe. Not only subscribe, we beg you to go ahead and click on the little bell. That way you'll know whenever we put a new show out. All of our shows are also archived on YouTube. So not only can you download the show from iTunes or Stitcher or Podcast Player or whatever you use, if you have to, you can go to YouTube and listen to our shows as well.
Absolutely. You can also follow us on the Untapped app. Lots of great beers out there to try. A lot of seasonal beauties as like this one that we had today on the show.
Yeah.
You can follow me as I'm checking myself into a hospital as we speak for dialysis at Good OLJB.
You can follow me at Mr. Fluffy as I try to turn at least 40% of my blood into pure hops and barley.
You can follow me as I treat my liver like Vince treats the roster at the Irish O'Leary.
Like I said, make sure you tune in Monday for our Brewski Awards. We're going to hand out awards, best superstars, best gimmick matches. We're going to have some fun with this. We're going to have a good time. And make sure you tune in next Thursday. We're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown as we are getting ready for the Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble is the start of the road to WrestleMania.
Dig it.
Dig it.
Dig it.
As always, make sure you get your pint glasses full and your body slam stick.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.